Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Today is January 1st, 2026. And that brings us into the 111 portal, which is today. Now, we get that by January being the first month, today being the first day, and the year 2026 reducing to a 111 portal. Now, it is a 3-day, and we get that by adding those ones together. 3 in this instance, and in general, but specifically for today, I want to talk specifically for today and this energy. For whatever reason, that is significant. Okay? 3 is going to represent alignment. Neptune is currently at 29 degrees of Pisces. He is squaring Mercury at 29 degrees of Sagittarius. The Neptunian energy is profound today. Neptune is ruling over this portal. Now, 111 angel number means a direct link to spirit, to source. Instant manifestation. Okay, being in alignment with spiritual forces directly. Was a weird noise. Okay. It was my child. Keywords for today: dreams, Empress. Empress is 3 in the major arcana of the tarot, and she represents feminine abundance. 3 also represents feminine. The earth is a 3. The Empress can represent the earth mother, abundant and nurturing, all encompassing, holding us and life as we know it in her cradling embrace. It's more like a womb space because we live within her field, which means we live within her being. Okay? Growth, dignity. That was not what I meant to say. Divinity. But dignity, that's okay. Spiritual royalty. Peace. Truth. Sound of worship. And destiny. Angel hair pasta could be something. I don't know why. That just like anyhow. So for this portal, 111 portal, and when we think of Neptune, we think of the trident with 3 prongs. Those 3 prongs are going to represent past, present, and future. So in that energy, this portal is asking us, what What are we calling in? What have we learned? And what are we creating? And in that order. If we were going to place it as past, present, future, the order would be what we learned, what we're creating, and what we're calling in. But for whatever reason, the order that it is asking to be utilized is what are we calling in? What have we learned? And what are we creating? Now, the moon is at 17 degrees of Gemini. 17 is the star energy, okay? And Gemini is mind. It is air energy. It is the twins. It is duality as well. The sun is at 11 degrees of Capricorn, 11 coming in as justice. And another one, double one, synchronicity. When it comes to destiny and 111, the idea of direct communication or a direct line, I'm getting the star energy. And in certain depictions of the star, which is actually Aquarius energy, there is a young girl, symbol of innocence, with a string attached to a star or symbolizing her wishes. Okay, the string attached to a star or the moon, something within the heavenly realm, wishing upon a star, and the gods smiling down and granting it. And the string itself is a tangible representation of hope. She has the string in her hand. She's directly connected to the heavenly realms. She can feel it. She can touch it. This is hope. So today, we are looking at destiny. We are looking at the star, and we are looking at hope returned. Again, 3. If we correlate that to the message of this portal, what are we calling in? Destiny. Okay? What are we creating? The star. And what are we calling in? Hope returned. So, 3. Destiny. The star. Hope returned. Again, sticking with the theme of 3, we have new self, new timeline, new place. Under that, we then have self-vision, timeline, and position. And this is an exercise that you can do at home. When you think of your destiny, okay, what you're calling in, you're calling to you your destiny. New self as this new year, okay, and your vision of yourself. What is that? Okay. Then we have new time being associated with what we learned. Timeline. What timeline do you perceive yourself to be on, and what timeline would you like to be on? Keeping in mind that this is a portal, okay? And then what we're calling in, okay? Hope returned. What the new place that you would like to be positioned in. And you can write according to what you desire. Some of this is for me specifically, so I will just skip over that. Okay. Moving right along. Our angel number for today is 295. Signifies major life changes, spiritual growth, and new beginnings. Another set of 3. Blending energies of cooperation, 2. Completion and wisdom, 9. And transformation, 5. To encourage faith in positive positive shifts towards your soul's purpose, often relating to career, love, and finding balance amidst big transitions. Exactly. It's a message to trust the journey, embrace change, and align your actions with higher wisdom for ultimate fulfillment, potentially indicating an important soul connection or divine guidance for major decisions. I was writing this and I was listening to one of my favorite readers. Her name is Natija. Okay. And as you can see, I have written it in purple. Spiritual royalty, okay, is what that color represents. And she made the comment, purple is always my sign for God. And I find that to be important. That can mean a variety of things to each and every one of you. Take that how it resonates. I'm looking down at this card. Trust the niggle. The niggle being her stomach communicating with her gut feeling. And she is dressed in purple. We're going to get into that specifically. The message on this card is trust the niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? Again, 111 directly connected to the spiritual realms. Now, I pulled some cards to support this message. This was on the bottom of the deck for the second deck that I will get into here. The first card that came out, main messages for today, what we are calling in. And this card matches my nails perfectly. I'd like to just say that. This is yin. This is the feminine principle of receiving. This is intuition. This is one half of the whole process of creation. This is receiving as an action. Okay. And I wrote down feminine receiving. This is a time of calculated receptivity as you gracefully await what is coming to you, ready to accept it when it appears, allowing things to flow to you, poised to receive the bounty that will be made available to you. Literally beautiful. Perfect. Then, what? Oh, my hair is dripping all over my paper. Isn't that interesting? Okay. What we learned. Yep, this one. Deep knowing, number 43. This is spiritual connection, direct connection. 1919, the sun. Okay. Deep knowing, intuition, listening to the oracle within, empathy, hypersensitivity. Intuition is the faculty that allows you to enter into a dialogue with Source, universal consciousness. And 43 is a 7. Forward movement. inside link, inside information, receiving spiritual information, and nourishment. Feminine principle. Feminine is loving, nurturing, nourishing, comforting, expansive. Covering. Okay. And the third card, what we are creating. And now we have Yang. This is the masculine principle, number 1. Today is the 111 portal. It is the first of the first month in a year 1. Masculine magician. The initiation of something. I mean, the ball of fire that this masculine energy is creating. The feminine is water. The masculine is fire. Okay. Yang, the masculine principle of movement and creative activity. The power to make things happen, taking action. Yang represents the power of action, the energies that propel the world forward, and manifesting thought and desire into concrete form. What you want will come to fruition if you proceed confidently. So, what we're calling in, and the calling it in is an act of bringing it towards you or being in reception of it. So this is literally perfect. Okay? What we learned, how to communicate and connect, okay, to spirit, to your higher self, God, angels, the unseen, however you want to look at that. And then what we are creating. Masculine force. Why am I speaking so closely to? I'm so sorry. I don't know what's happening right now. Number 1. Okay. So now I should probably clip this to myself because I feel like now is when it's going to get interesting. Again, 111 portal, directly connected. This is an initiation point. This is stepping across a threshold into another state, position, way of being, moving past a limitation or a barrier. and stepping through. Keywords: reflection, image, portal, and time travel. A portal acts like a wormhole, okay? Things move in a moment from one place to another. Things can exit, things can come in. In that wormhole, you are traveling through time and space. But because time and space is a construct of a linear mind, and everything is spherical, time and space bends to accommodate whatever is needing to be done. This is the entrance into the quantum field. The all-seeing eye exists within your image. This is an initiation. And in this particular year, day, and energy, this is crossing the wealth threshold. Moving from a lack of resource, way of thinking, seeing, and being, and stepping into wealth consciousness, abundance and expansion and plenty as a way of living, being, seeing, and believing. The portal of the mind is opening to ancient knowledge in this energy. Again, quantum threshold. Where time and space bends to accommodate. Authentic expression is the key that unlocks this portal. Because your authentic expression would be an exact frequency. And within that frequency, you would have an understanding of purpose, which means that whatever power you receive, you would use towards that purpose. Meaning that until you are in that frequency, you don't get the resource because you're not quite ready to use it in the way that it's intended. So your authentic expression is the key that opens it up. Once you reach that point, you will proceed forward in the way that your higher self intended you to do so, or intended you to do. Okay? Fear closes that portal. Again, authentic expression opens it. Fear closes it. Authentic form is pure. It is clear. There's no gray, there's no black, there's no cloudiness. It is pure light. It is your pure light. Exactly as it's intended. And in that exact alignment, you have full power. Okay. Authentic form is pure, clear, without barrier or darkness. You have a 360-degree view, clear sight. And because you're seeing with the portal of your mind, you see all at the same time. Not only do you see it from this position, you see it from the outside peering back at you. So you see it as an observer as well. Because now you are the field itself. Reflection. Why is this important? Because in reflection, you have full information. You see it from both sides. You understand immediately more. Seeing all because you exist within it. A sphere within a sphere within a sphere. Why a sphere? Because there is a center point, source, and everything expands outward from there. This is how creation functions. Okay? Lightning changes the electrical frequency, changes the code. It is a burst of light to create a change in a particular space or region. If light is information, and the sun is representing God. So that light, that electricity is of the higher realms. We are electrical beings. We are also beings of God. So, within that light, within that electricity, there are codes of information, activation and awakening. A solar flare from the sun is a larger expression of lightning within a larger field. Okay, a larger sphere. But it is functioning in the same way. It is affecting the earth in the same way that lightning would affect our body. It changes the frequency of the field. But it's information, which means it's upgrading you. There's nothing other that it could be doing. It's upgrading you. It's changing something for the better. The earth herself is evolving. And the sun is evolving her. Because the sun is God for her. Okay. So the crystals, okay? The consistency of the crystal, because we understand, or should at this point, that nothing is solid, okay? Everything is energy, which means it's in different configurations, but it is moving. Crystals were the first technology. They exist in a particular pattern that changes energy, conducts energy, produces energy, and directs energy. They appear to be solid, crystalline. It's in a type of frozen pattern, it would appear. But it's in an exact configuration to process energy in the way that it's meant to, depending on the crystal. Again, technology. This is cosmic technology of the earth, beyond value, beyond importance, part of the fundamental structure of the earth, the universe, the system, the transference of wisdom and knowledge, all of it. Crystals are of the earth, and they are a gift. A great support. Anyhow, the pattern of the crystal, the way it processes energy, conducts, transforms, and elevates. We have crystals in our inner ears because we have a resonating chamber here with the pineal gland, the gland associated with receiving spiritual information, connecting to it as a physical organ, is in the middle of the triangle. The triangle with an eye in the middle. The all-seeing eye. It is also in and of itself a portal. Time travel. We travel through time in our mind. We perceive according to our mind. And when those crystals are loose, you get vertigo, okay? You get dizziness. You have no sense of equilibrium. They're very important. It is a spiritual technology that is literally part of our being because we are of the earth. We are of the universe. We exist on multiple dimensions simultaneously with the potential to, well, not just the potential, it's an actual happening that we are affecting the other dimensions with everything that we do. Sphere within a sphere within a sphere. Different planes of existence. Quantum field. Sphere. Realm. Okay. Oh, my back. So, your solar plexus, where we receive the sun, where we receive the light, it is a central location on our body. Okay? Everything expands from there. It is the midpoint. The point of creation. The point where the sun is received. And it creates your field. There's an intuition here. Although all of our energy centers are spheres, they all connect to different things. But this is coming through today. Okay. The solar plexus, which I know I just said, is the center point. Everything expands outward from there. Place yourself in the observer position within your field so that you are, in fact, the mirror to yourself. You become the point of creation and the reflection. Source, light, sound, frequency, multiverse. Planes of existence. And I'm seeing like a graph, planes this way and that way, okay? And they exist. Frequencies, planes, They exist simultaneously at a slightly different space. And they can converge or expand. Think of an accordion. It converges and expands to create the music. Think of breathing. We converge and expand to receive air. And conception is a coming in and then an expansion. Meaning that this is how creation functions, how the multiverse, the universe functions. The speed of light equals the speed of creation. I don't know how to put this into words when I'm saying. There is one single point, which is source. Point of light, source light, and it expands out from there. And then other points become the point of source light and expands from there. And then other points become source light and expands from there. And it looks like a firework. So it's expanding in all directions at all times. Okay? While I was sitting here writing this, I experienced a pulse, a shift in my heartbeat, my heart field. And then my stomach, my solar plexus started making noise. These are both indications of receiving like an energy wave, most likely from the sun, solar information. And then my ear started ringing. And it was a recognition immediately. Multiple planes, multiple energy centers are receiving information. And then because we are a resonating chamber, our bodies, and our mind within the body. There is an aspect of those two chambers being separate. The chamber of the body and the chamber of the mind. They aren't intrinsically connected. They have to communicate, which is what they are meant to do. They are a sphere within a sphere, as we are a sphere within a sphere within a sphere. Consciousness, universe itself. We exist within it. And you can expand outward infinitely with your perspective and your point of view, because it's a sphere. Center point is always a portal. Okay? The root chakra, when the root chakra receives information, you feel sensation in your legs. You feel shiver, goosebumps in your legs. That is how you know your root chakra is being touched, receiving information. And it's also, it affects your crown because the root chakra and the crown chakra work together. Okay, they cycle together. They meet in the heart space, but they cycle together. Root to tip, and then it cycles back through. So there are multiple systems that are being affected simultaneously. All of the time we're receiving these solar flares. The sun is super active. I've never, to my knowledge, experienced the sun in this way because it is new light. It is new light and it is powerful. This is the edge of evolution. And this time it's a really big deal. We are making rapid improvement or have the potential. We are in the ascension phase. We are learning and we are using it. And it is rapid growth. Is this crooked? Okay. If you're still with me, good job. So then I'm thinking of the pulses. I think I really already touched on this, but I'll say it again. The pulses of the earth and of the heart. Okay. The Schumann resonance measures the resonating frequencies within the ionosphere produced by lightning. Solar flares are larger scale lightning strikes within a larger sphere or radius. The Earth, as a being and a sphere, is a resonating chamber with a crystalline grid that is absorbing energy in a particular pattern using sacred geometry which naturally occurs and is why it's naturally occurring. Geometric patterns capture the energy and refract it outward and inward. Think of the crystal technology. Everything is made of sacred geometry in the natural world. Meaning that all of that is energy. That is what you're seeing. You're seeing energy. The way that it moves light to use it. It's seeing the code of the energy. The authentic expression of the energy. And when you understand creation, you can create. powerfully. What do you want to create? You are spiritual royalty. And I think I'm going to leave it there. That was not all that I intended to do, but I'm feeling, that is enough for today. I'll just show you these cards as well, and you can interpret them in the way that feels correct for you. Mirror. Do not dim yourself to fit in. Priestess. This is one of my all-time favorite cards. It's so good. The snake on her head represents transformation of the mind. The portal behind her, the lions, the protection, the feathers, birds, communication. I mean, just how are you being called to step up and lead? And lastly, the initiation, the threshold. Rite of passage, crossing the threshold. All right. I hope that was understandable and enjoyable and informative. It's a lot of information that is an initiation in and of itself. It initiates a process of expansion of thinking, consideration of ideas, and it's a portal. I hope you all had a wonderful day. Wishing you an amazing year ahead. All my love your way, and I'll talk to you soon.